Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are talking about three things. First, we will talk about what is a radian. Second, we will learn how to change degrees into radians. And finally, we will learn how to change radians back into degrees. And you might be asking yourself, what is a radian? Well, let's have a look at the TV and watch this short example. To begin, we take a radius of a circle. We then take that radius and we wrap it around the circumference of the circle, which creates an arc that has the same length as your radius. The sector this creates has an angle in the middle. This angle is what we call 1 radian. We can take that radian and that sector and continue around the circle. And once we get to our halfway point, we create pi radian. And notice that is exactly 180 degrees. So that means the full length around a circle is 2 pi radians. So now that we know what radians are, let's look and see how we can change degrees into radians. So, to change degrees to radians is actually quite simple. First, you're going to take your degrees, which we're going to call theta, and you're going to multiply that by pi over 180 degrees. Let's try an easy one. Let's start off with, let's say, 30 degrees. Let's change 30 degrees to radians. So 30 degrees times pi over 180. We're going to multiply that out, so that gives me 30 pi over 180. We don't want to leave it as such a big fraction, so we can reduce that down into its smallest numbers. We know 30 over 180 is the same thing as 1 over 6 pi. And to simplify that even more, we can say pi over 6. That would be your final answer there. So we can say that 30 degrees is equal to pi over 6 radians. And now you try. Let's see if you can convert 120 degrees into radians. Pause the video while you work out the answer. If you got 2 pi over 3, great job! Now that we can convert degrees into radians, let's try it the other way. Let's try to convert radians back into degrees. When converting radians into degrees, we just swap the fraction around. This time we're going to take our radians and multiply it by 180 over pi, and that will give us our degrees. Let's try an example. Let's look at a more difficult one, and let's try 5 pi over 6 radians, and we want to make this in degrees. So, we'll multiply by 180 over pi. Now to work this out, it's quite easy. First, we can just cut our pi's. We can get rid of those and make our calculation much easier. Next, we can look at our 6 and our 180, and we can actually reduce these down to its lowest form. 180 divided by 6, we know, is 30. So now we're left with a nice, easy problem. 5 times 30 is equal to 150 degrees. So we know that 5 pi over 6 radians is equal to 150 degrees. So now you try. Let's convert 7 pi over 6 back into degrees. Pause the video while you give this a shot. Did you get 210 degrees? Well, that's it for today's lesson. I hope you all learned something about radians. Come back next class and we'll learn something completely new. Have a good day. Bye.